Have you heard of Brotato, the top-down alien shooter where you literally play as a potato? Have you heard of its roguelite gameplay with over 60 unique characters to choose from? Have you heard it has hundreds upon hundreds of weapons and items to truly make it feel like each run is unique? Well, you're about to, so settle in. At its core, Brotato has you survive wave after wave of hostile aliens until you reach the final 20th wave where you face off against a boss. Defeat them and you will have completed your run and be rewarded with potential access to new characters and items to use in the future. Each wave allows you to take on a potentially infinite amount of aliens which all behave in different ways. Once defeated, they drop these little green things called materials which you can collect to level up and then spend in the shop between rounds. Let's break that down. Firstly, level ups. Each level yields incremental upgrades to the many different stats the game offers. They can be used to deal more damage, attack faster, move faster, increase your chance of finding items, or even just acquire more materials for future use, just to name a few. You can also re-roll for new upgrades if everything you're seeing doesn't fit your playstyle, but that will come at the cost of materials. There's no one right way to go about it. What you want to focus on depends entirely on your character and the run you're on, but more on that in a little bit. Secondly, the shop. After every successful wave, you'll be greeted with this little interface right here. You can now use your materials to buy different items and weapons. Weapons are your main way of dealing damage, and typically characters can have up to 6 of them at a time. They can be different or all the same. You can even combine 2 of the same weapon, of the same rarity, to get better versions of them. And they all come with unique typing, attacks, and abilities that can be paired together to really take your builds to the next level. For example, ethereal weapons are melee based and give you additional stats the more kills you get. In this run, I'm using the Ghost Flint, which gives a plus 1% attack speed bonus for every 20 enemies defeated. Start stacking kills, and you'll see that you'll be slapping aliens left and right faster than you can comprehend. Each weapon has its own thing going for it, so it allows for a diverse array of playstyles. Items are your other way of increasing stats and min-maxing your build. They offer upsides, but sometimes also come with some downsides. Let's take a look at the robot arm, for example. After every wave, you get a plus 3 to melee damage and engineering, but you also get a minus 1 to max HP. So you always need to be careful about what you're picking up. Make sure to properly read what it does so you're not inadvertently hindering yourself. Each character also has unique abilities and playstyles for you to try out. Some characters specialize in melee, some in ranged. Some are better suited for dealing high amounts of damage, and some are best at just avoiding enemies and staying alive. Some of them are better the more damage you take, and some of them are better when you stand still and just do nothing? Huh.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
In any case, there is a playstyle for everyone, and the replayability of the game comes from the fact that everyone is vastly different than the last. I mean, it's a roguelite after all, so it would be pretty disappointing if it didn't function as one, but Brotato truly embodies it, as no 2 runs ever feel the same even when you're using the same characters. Because maybe your weapons are different, maybe certain stats are different, or maybe you managed to find ultra rare items you just didn't have on your last run, like the oh so good potato. Always grab the potato when it's available. If ever you feel like you've got a really busted build, you can go past wave 20 with endless mode, which, much like the name describes, allows you to see just how many waves you can survive as enemies get more abundant and harder to kill. You can also adjust your difficulty level to range from 0 all the way to 5, set your difficulty higher and you can expect more damage taken, more enemies, different enemy types, and you might even spawn in hordes or elites that make certain rounds quite tricky if you're ill prepared. Hell, on Danger 5, be ready to face a second boss on Wave 20, which will test even the most optimized of builds. There's also a whole DLC that unlocks even more characters, weapons, items, and introduces a new stat called Curse, which allows for more synergies for you to try. You've also got a new map complete with new enemy types and dangers to surmount if ever you get bored of the usual environment. But don't worry, you can turn it off if you'd prefer to have the OG experience. So, now you've heard of Brotato, and I do hope you'll give it a try. Maybe you picked it up through Epic as a free game earlier this month, or maybe you've got Game Pass and you're looking for something new to play. But if not, you can also buy it for just $2.99 on Steam, which, in my opinion, is well worth the price tag. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you'll be checking out Brotato, and if you do, what do you think of the game? I'll catch you next week for more indie game discoveries, but until then, keep checking out our other videos either on YouTube or on GameRat.com, where we've got all kinds of gaming content to satiate your hunger for it.